onto NPR radio, you click on public service announcement, you put in your city and your state, and you type in your announcement. And then you're in your car the next day and you hear your announcement on radio. It's unbelievable. All for free. So you don't want to just spend the money on the ads. You want to capture every other kind of advertising for free regarding these weight loss workshops. Now, as Channing told me, the key point here is detox. No one else is doing it detox. This is not the Atkins diet. This is not the Beverly Hills diet. This is cleansing detox weight loss. Now, here's the ad that Mike Quast first created. And this ad run one time, brought 135 people in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to his lecture. And you'll notice this is Channing's ad right here. And if you read them, they are quite similar. I like Channing's better for one reason. He puts here, as seen on ABC Action News. And it's not that Channing's been on ABC News, but this detox program has been on ABC News. And when people see, as seen on ABC Action News, it makes them feel more comfortable with the program, or it wouldn't have been on TV. And but why am I always tired and need more energy? Why do I crave sweets? Why can't I lose weight? Why do I feel depressed? If you go back, they're, see, identical. Same ad. Everything here is here, except it's a different format. I think that your ads were less expensive, Channing, because this is a much larger ad. This is more like a flyer or a newspaper. No, I asked him. He said it's an ad. It's not a newspaper insert. But you can make these into flyers and just hand them around town. And, all right, now, write this down. Stay awake, write this down. There's a thing called an advertorial. An advertorial, Jerry, is an ad that you buy that looks like an article. It's a paid-for article. You know what I mean? Like you have an article about your clinic in the paper, but you pay for it. Now it's called an advertorial. The law on advertorials are you have to put these words on the bottom. This is a paid advertisement. Raise your hand if you've ever seen them in the newspaper. It's a little, you know, you're reading this article and it says this is a paid advertisement. Raise your hand if you know what the heck I'm talking about. Okay, now, if you get them to put this in for free, you don't have to put it's a paid advertisement. And Mike Quast told me to tell you that he will not run this ad unless they do the article for free. He just tells them point blank. Listen, we're in a recession. I'm not going to pay for an ad unless you allow me to put what's called an advertorial, a little article about what I'm doing. It's just a little article. And they said to him on the new, they said to him, well, it's $100 more if you want an article in the paper. And he said, well, then I'm not going to run my ad. They said, well, we do it once a month. We'll do it one time. So he only does his weight loss workshop the 1 week a month where they'll give him a free article. Now, he told me he gets more new ones from the article than the ad. If the ad's bringing you 20 or 30 people, your article will bring you another 50. The article is in your notes, and if it's not, you'll talk to Dr. Russell, and he will help you with... Dr. Russell is in charge of detox weight loss programs for my company, him and his wife, Debbie. And they will help you set this whole thing in motion. They'll help you with your advertising, and we've got more programs that I'm showing you here today to be sure. But the thing that makes this powerful is it says, if you're serious about losing weight and being healthier, you need to do this program, said Gail DeYoung, who lost 18 pounds on the 9-day detox program. Now, Gail has given us permission to use her name, so even though you don't know Gail DeYoung, this will be your article. We're just going to take Channing's name out and put your name in. See what I mean? So we're going to land this in the paper for free. We're going to put announcements all around town, and we're going to make it an extra $200,000 if you want to get into weight loss marketing. Mentioned NPR radio. This is in your notes. Oh, this is Channing's brilliant idea. Write this one down. Channing, tell them about the idea of bringing a support group. When them bringing other people to support them in this cleanse. When the people call you...
When they call up, you say, listen, you know, the whole key to making this work or not work is you need to have a support person, because one of the biggest reasons people fail on diets is they go it alone, they're in kind of a weak moment, and they fall off.
Hey, Russ, stop right there. So write these words. Detox programs fail if you go it alone. That's the wording. If you go it alone, they fail. You have to have a partner. You have to have a support. So you've got to bring someone else with you.
Right. And we tell them it's best if they bring somebody from home and from work, so they always have a support person that they can tap on, whether they're at home or work. That's what, we find is the best if they can do it.
Right. So in other words, when they call to come, we're encouraging every one of them to bring more people. So if you got 12 people coming and they're each bringing another, we're now up to 24. See how this thing would build?
Right. And so the ideal thing is they're going to bring another overweight person with them to do it with them. So they have, like a weight loss buddy, and they kind of go through it together. And so you sell 2 programs off one call or more.
Got it. Okay, let's give Channing a round of applause. Channing, on to the next step. And as I mentioned to you earlier, Channing does a lot of rehab, and I can only tell you that people who are overweight tend to have weak muscles, they tend to have back problems, and they tend to need rehab. So you're taking a look at, through this marketing, a program that will at least bring several $100,000 more income into your practice. It is the hottest button in America, and we do detox cleansing weight loss, which is different from everybody else. And by the way, as you heard from others earlier this morning, it actually works. That's what's, by the way, the good news is it actually works and gets great results. All right, so Channing's holding his lecture at around 6 o'clock. I'm not going to tell you, every part of the country is different. Obviously, you don't want to make people come out too late at night. This is the workshop that we use. Let me see. Okay, you can read through the rest on this note. This is our new lecture close, but I already gave it to you earlier. This is, again, is in your handout. And this is our new survey. Now, for those of you who've been with me for years, this is a new survey. It's actually, Jerry, all of this is new. I redid this area, although it looks the same. It's new. You got to read it. And for weight loss, Channing, we made this whole new section in here. And this is all about how much do you weigh, how much do you want to lose. So instead of using a normal stress survey, we redid it, and you can order this from Mark in the back of the room from our products area. And this is our new weight loss survey to use. Remember, I told you everything we do has surveys in it, because people fill out a survey, and then you get them as a patient. Now, the Detox Weight Loss Workshop is called the Revolutionary 9-Day Cleansing Program. National weight loss average 7 to 12 pounds in 9 days. And I'm not going to show you all 63 slides. I'm just going to show you 10 of them. But basically, it goes in and starts off with getting them to understand we're a sick nation. I'll give you some factoids you might want to write down, and they're in the slides as well. The United States consumes, we represent right now, we represent 10% of planet Earth. 10% of the world lives in our country. But we consume 50% of all pharmaceuticals. Scary, isn't it? We have 10% of the population, and we consume 50% of all the pharmaceuticals. And we are 50th in life expectancy. We keep going down. I was going to change the slide because I remember years ago we were at 47 or something. Well, I checked it last week. We're down to 50. 50 other nations live longer than we do, and it's a little scary to think Somalia is getting close to us. We're getting close to them. I mean, how sick are we? I mean, in their countries, people are being shot and killed by revolutions. In our country, we just kill them with our food supply. And we are number 1 in the world in infant mortality. We are number 1 in obesity. What's going on with this country? I think it's got a lot to do with the fact we're toxic. So the main point of this workshop is we all agree the air is polluted. Nobody's going to say, well, the air is only polluted in America. No, it's not. The air is polluted everywhere, especially if the air kind of moves around. Hello? All right. And how about the water? Is there pure water in Washington State? You're out of your mind. The water evaporates, it goes in the air, and it gets mixed with toxic chemicals, and it spreads all over the place. We have global poisoning of our water supply. Now, America's worse because, as you know, they've recently sampled our water, and we have estrogen in our water. We have so much estrogen, you might want to write these factoids down. We have so much estrogen in our water supply now that the fish in Lake Mead are starting to mutate. meaning male fish are becoming a little bit, I'm trying to, feminine, that's the word I should say. But no, it's actually they're taking on they're mutating. Animals are mutating. Why is there such a big problem in America with men virility? Why is there such a need for Viagra? Because men are actually eating estrogen all day long. It's in their meat, it's in their cheese, it's in their eggs, it's in their milk. Men are consuming so much estrogen that they're actually losing their potency. And so we have the worst food supply on planet Earth, and that's why we are the sickest nation on Earth. And heart disease every 29 seconds. Now, you might want to write this factoid down. This year was the first year in history as many women had a heart attack as men. See, it's always been cancer is a women's disease, heart attacks are a man's disease. No longer. Women now tide us. They're coming up. They're having heart attacks too. Every 29 seconds, an American has a coronary heart disease major problem. Every 2 minutes, a woman in America is diagnosed with breast cancer. Each year, eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa affect millions of Americans, which 90% are teenagers. Attention deficit hyperactivity, as you know, is epidemic. So is autism epidemic. And although it's not on here, you ought to write this one down. Oh, somebody told me that they saw it on CNN. 50% of all of our health care costs are spent on three things. All the money we spend is to focus on three things. 1, obesity. 2, diabetes. And 3, heart disease. Understand if diabetes and heart disease are directly related to being overweight. And does obesity have anything to do with overweight? So do you understand that if we just, it's like if you look at where 50% of all the health care costs in this country go to our population being overweight. End of story, that's the story. So if we were to go on this massive campaign to help people lose weight, we are definitely going to help this nation. And we are, as a people, now listen, I could, and Scott could, and any of our people here who know anything nutrition, we spend hours going over this with you. We have things in our food supply that have been designed to make you fat. I think it was Scott last night, we were out somewhere, and he was telling me that they have these meetings, and he's aware of this, he spent 12 years researching all this nutrition, that the fast food companies get together and they try to figure out how to get us to be fatter so we'll consume more of their food. So they actually have strategies of how to fatten us up, like rats, you know what I mean? And one of the first things they came up with, because you see, the larger you are, then the more you consume. Also, they want to make it so you're always hungry. So how do you do it? Well, you come up with chemicals that you put in the food supply. Like what? Like MSG. Raise your hand if you ever heard of MSG. Okay, but what is MSG? Anybody know why it was made and what it does to a person? Anybody know? So explain what you just said.
MSG is an excitotoxin, and what it does is it literally tricks tongue into thinking that food tastes better than it does, but it does it by, it's almost like whenever I think of it, sort of like a cartoon character, it makes cells that come in contact with it so excited they literally explode.
Right.
And so it's actually a highly addictive drug.
Right.
So it's like a way to take it
Yeah, it's not psychological, or, it's not because it tastes so good, it's been laced with drugs. Now, that's one thing MSG does, but that's not the reason it was created. It was created in a lab in order to do what? Fatten up rats. They wanted to have rats reach a certain weight so they could experiment on them, and it was taking too much food and taking too long, so they invented MSG. Because what MSG does when it goes in your body, it suppresses the part of the brain that makes you feel full. Say it again. Okay, stand up and say it loudly so they can write it down. So write this down, folks. It goes in and it makes the body secrete.
It's short-circuit leptin production, and leptin is a hormone that's secreted by fat, but it's also secreted by the hypothalamus in the brain.
When you eat.